Well, it's time again for Your Money, and joining us in studio, as always, well, most of the time, I guess I could say, is Colin Evans with the Evans Financial Group. Colin, today we're talking about something that really freaks me out, just the thought of a $900,000 mistake. What is that?
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big oops. This is crazy. This kind of blew my mind, and we have seen this little bits over the past, and I guess, if you're spread out over millions, hundreds of millions of Americans across the country. But oddly enough, there is $1.6 trillion in 401ks that are just floating out there, forgotten about.
Wow.
This is a gigantic number. This was from a 2021 study that Capitalized did, and this is a company that actually goes and helps people find kind of old or lost 401ks. But what's absolutely crazy is, people that are, job shifters, they might want to work 2 to 3 years, or they're working like a gig. It might be seasonal or something along those lines. They simply forget that they've maybe signed up for this. This money was being taken out of the check. We got a statement. Statement goes in the mail, and I forget about it. It comes out of sight, out of mind. I change jobs, change job, change job. What happened to it? It blows my mind that is a forgotten about thing. But this can be very, very damaging because it really does become an out of sight, out of mind. It almost is, the easiest way to relate this to is like, this is, you stop mowing your grass and you're just letting everything go. It's like, hey, I completely, did I forget to mow my grass? Well, what's happening in this, and what are you missing out on too? These are really things that are that we think about is, what was it kind of a lost opportunity cost in there? Because if you have missed out on this, where you be paying fees that you didn't need to be, if plans change over time, if companies get bought out or purchased, things could be happening to your 401k that might not be in the best interest, and you don't have control, or you never took over control of that. It's a very, very just crazy thing. What I would suggest, if you by chance have changed jobs or moved around and maybe think that you have lost a 401k, there's a group called the National Registry of Unclaimed Retirement Benefits. This is actually a free service you can actually look up and see. It's based off of your Social Security number, and you can find out if you possibly have an old 401k. There is a pay service also out there with the company called Beagle, which also does the was a very similar thing. But one of the absolute best things we can suggest is, when you separate from employment, roll this thing over into an IRA. And if you change jobs, go to another employer, and it happens to be a short-term gig, do it again and start consolidating them and put them in one place. It leaves you in control as the sole investor, but they have control over their retirement plan. Plus, you have the opportunity that you can forge a relationship with a financial advisor that really can give you guidance and direct you in the path, for retirement and the goals that you want to accomplish.
Now, this may be a dumb question, I don't know, but what happens to all that money?
Unfortunately, it sits.
Wow.
It's got to sit there until there is hopefully a claim made for it at some point in time. But
if no one claims it, it's just
that is a truly an unfortunate thing. It's if you hear rumors too, and I've heard this in the past, like, oh, I left employment. Well, they're just going to take my 401k and give it and divide it for everybody else. No, they don't do that. They don't just divide it out and give it to everybody else. It is still there allocated for you, but it is very, very wise. Make sure you go look for that.
All right, real quick, if anyone has any questions, I feel like I have a ton about this one. Where do they find you?
Absolutely. You can find us on the web at evansfinancial.com, or kick us an email, info@evansfinancial.com.
Do not make the $900,000 mistake. Let's go to Patrick.